Welcome back to D3, Dominici's Discussion and Debates. I'm here with Justyce Mercado, Honolulu native, VTSU Castleton sophomore, and an athlete on the VTSU Castleton Wrestling team. Thank you for being here with me.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, to start, I'd like to get in to some of the similarities and differences between Vermont and, Hawaii, but specifically Honolulu, where you're from. And, the people, the climate, wrestling, and one question I really want to get into is, do you ever feel really homesick for more than your traditional, like, your family and your friends? Do you ever feel homesick for Hawaii as an entity?
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like, if you've never been to the islands, man, like, the postcards just don't do it justice. Like, it's so much more beautiful in person, and I think, like, growing up there, you, like, never really appreciate it until you move away or you go away for a long time. Or even for, like, a couple weeks. Like, you just kind of, you go to, like, a different state, especially, like, a big city, and you're kind of like, wow, I, like, really want to go back home. Well, when it comes to, like, people, like, especially in VTSU, I would say that for the most part, people are pretty similar. Like, I mean, most of my friends on VTSU are just the wrestling kids, and a lot of them are from different states and everything. And I think we have, like, a good bond on the team, so, like, everyone's very, like, respectable for the most part. At least they try to be. And I don't know. I had like my own expectations coming up here from Hawaii, and I can't lie, like, a lot of it was on the very pretty low when it comes to that. But I was pleasantly surprised with, like, how nice a lot of the kids on our team were, like, a lot of the different backgrounds they kind of bring. Like, I thought everyone was just kind of gonna be a copy and pasted Vermonter, but, like, there's a lot more diversity within our team, at least, which I really appreciated, being from Hawaii. And like we're literally like a melting pot of different cultures and everything. And it's hard, like, when you go to the mainland, which is like continental US, what we call it down in the islands.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I come up to the main, when you go to the mainland, I guess. I just lost my train of thought.
Oh, you're good, man. Do you want me to give you another question?
Yeah.
I remember early in, we had a tournament early in, I think it was November or December of last year.
Yeah.
Our freshman year. And I remember it was only 40-something, 50 degrees, and you had the winter coat on, and you were all bundled up.
Yes.
And you were all
Dude,
bundled,
yeah.
and everyone else from New England, like all the Mass guys and all the Rhode Island guys were like, what the hell is going on with Justyce right now?
Bro. Yeah, I was freezing, man. Bro, in fucking Hawaii, dude, this shit don't get lower than 70, and, like, if it does, bro, people think it's, like, the end of the world, bro. Like,
What's cold for you guys, like 60?
No, low 70s
wow.
with the wind.
So
type.
it doesn't, like, you're serious, it doesn't barely goes.
Yeah, dude, it doesn't, like, all year round, man, even during the winter months. Like, if you're getting low 70s, that's a cold day. You're like, oh my gosh, I better throw on a hoodie and some stuff, bro. Like, throw on a hoodie and pants, man. It's brick out here. I'm fucking shit.
Do you guys ever see snow or no?
Nah.
No, nothing.
There's
like
only
that?
one, only the big island in Hawaii gets snow, and it's on the mountain peaks. And even then, it's, like, sheeted snow. Like, you're not gonna get fresh pow on Mount Kilauea.
Yeah.
It's just not.
No skiing, no snowboarding down there.
No. Maybe some Red Bull dudes. Maybe some Red Bull guy parachuting down onto that thing or something.
Regarding your guys' culture, I think Hawaiians have one of the most, like, beautiful cultures, along with Japanese. Like, I really like studying those two cultures. Is it accurate to say that Hawaiians draw, from what I found, it's like a triad of Polynesian, I would say, I don't know which specific sector, but Asian and traditional USA influences in the culture, it seems. Or what other influence, or is that inaccurate, or what influences do you see when you, especially now that we're in college and we're meeting so many kids, like our campus has 65 plus countries, like what other countries do you see and stuff where you're like, wow, they are a lot like other Hawaiians?
So I feel like when I want to just break down the question a little bit, like when you talk about like Hawaiians, I think like the first thing is just to like to understand is like there's a big difference between like Hawaii as a state as it is now versus like actual native Hawaiians, and like there is definitely like a gap, I'd say, between like the cultures, especially between people who are just moving there and like first moving in, and people who have like been there for like generations. Like, and
You mean like a cultural divide?
oh yeah,
The way of life?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like if you get people from like moving in from California, these rich old white dudes who are-
Gentrifying?
yeah, they're just yeah, exactly, they're gentrifying, and like, you know, they'll be like, oh, like there's something called pidgin down in the islands, and it's like just like it's almost like patois, kind of like it's English, but like it's just broken. It's like broken English. You know what I mean? Like people talk like like, oh, how's it, bro? Like you like go Sandy's today or what? And you know, like when you get people from the mainland, like it's funny, like they'll see that and they'll try to like imitate it. Oh, and it's just so cringe.
That's the
very,
same as guys
very-
who walk around, like guys on the team who walk around and wagwan
Yeah.
come up to me. My father's from Trinidad, and I have guys walk up to me all the time. Wagwan, me brother. And I'm just like, dude, what are we doing?
Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, I can't lie, dude. That's why I don't be talking in pidgin, bro, because I know people are just
But
gonna-
you do like do you
Yeah,
naturally
yeah.
speak in pidgin? Okay.
Yeah, back. It's we like people. When someone's like very, I don't even know what you'd call it now. Like when someone's like very, I guess, indulged in that like lifestyle. You'd call them. They're called moke. Down like especially when someone has like a super thick pidgin accent like that, you'd say like, oh, like that guy is really moke or some like stuff like that. But like it's interesting because like you could have someone who's like very like Hawaiian in that way, but not necessarily like practicing traditional Hawaiian things.
Like the customs and the
Yeah, stuff like that. Like they're not going to like like a hula club, or like they're not like what would be another one? Like they're not like making a garden in their backyard and like trying to.
Are these traditions that you partake in?
Yeah, I try to. Yeah,
You do the hula dancing and all that?
a little. Yeah, a little bit during high school. I did.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
like,
awesome, though.
Yeah, they're called a heiau. That's what they're called, like a school of hula.
Okay, that's
yeah.
sick.
So there's like there's like a lot. I mean, and there's still a lot of people who like are trying to keep that stuff alive. You know what I mean? Like
That's beautiful to see, though.
yeah,
It's
I know
really
it's
nice to
super
see.
sick. It's super sick. Like
The resistance to the gentrification, man,
Mm-hmm.
because the gentrification in certain places is just completely. It's not like physically killing people, but it's killing cultures.
Yeah,
It's killing cultures, and
Yeah.
I think that when you kill a culture, it doesn't matter if you still have your skin complexion. There's no diversity without ethnicity and culture, in my opinion. We need ethnicities and cultures. The amount of melanin in your skin, to me, is not enough to suffice diversity. You know?
Yeah, that's definitely a good point, bro. Because like, I mean, I can't lie. Like growing up, I wasn't super immersed in like native Hawaiian culture. Like I'm like a quarter from my mom, but it's not like she was ever one to, like, she grew up from a broken home. She was raised by her grandparents and stuff like that. And, you know, she was just never really around any of it. And she just didn't know. She just didn't know. And I couldn't blame her for that. Like,
Yeah.
So it was just up to me, like, knowing that I do have that blood running through me to, like, try to find out more about it. And I feel like there's still definitely more work I can do on my own part, but it is, like, great to see that, you know, that movement already exists within the state.
That's awesome. And we talked about gentrification. I want to talk about more than just the social gentrification. Upon my research, I found it seems like Native Hawaiians are almost exploited. And I have a few numbers here. Approximately, and you know, these could be outdated or whatever.
Yeah.
The average cost of living in Hawaii as a state, I don't know, I don't believe this is specific islands, is 86% higher than the national average, and that's 206% for housing. That's 3 times. 100% for utilities. That's double. 32% for groceries and 36% for transportation. All of this with a mean average wage of 32.66 in the U.S. and 33.74. So $1.09 more with almost double the cost of living. And, like, to me, that seems like it's a recipe for economic collapse because it's insane to me.
Yeah, there's it's funny you mentioned that because, like, there's literally a term for it in Hawaii, bro. People say it's called priced out of paradise, right? Like, a lot, especially Native Hawaiians, like, dude, you have people who are like 6-7 generations deep, no pun intended. and that's all they've known for like so many years, and then they can't afford it anymore.
That's been an issue for that long? You mean the rising prices?
Yeah. It's a reoccurring issue, and it's sad seeing how the state and, like, our government tries to respond to it. Because, like, something that they kind of did pretty similar to you know, I forget the name, the blood quantum, like what they do for Native Americans. I have to be a certain, like, percent of Native American to, like, have rights to the land, like, to Native American.
They're doing something like
so
that.
So they do the same thing, but
do you know the percentage?
It's 25%.
Wow. So you qualify?
Yeah, I qualify.
Wow.
So there's something called Hawaiian homestead, which is basically like Hawaiian homes that are meant to be affordable for Native Hawaiians. And, like, but the issue is, like, dude, they'll have, like, plots of land, like, literally sitting for, like, years and years and years. And, like, the way it works is it's kind of like a raffle system type where, like, and this list is just crazy long, and, like, dude, you'll see people, like, get on the list, like, when they're my age and not even get until they're, like, in their 80s. And it's just, like...
So, on paper... And that's another thing is that a lot of people, when I talk to them, in general, not just with Hawaiians, they talk about, oh, well, we have these social institutions in place. Mm-hmm. But like you're saying, at that point, to me, it's a talking point.
Yeah.
No one's genuinely being helped. Yeah. It's a talking point.
Yeah.
It's on paper.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like, there are genuinely people, like, Native Hawaiians who live there. But, like, when you compare it to, like all the rest of the community who has to either live barely scraping by, right? They're living like they got 3 generations in a single household because no one can afford to move out, or you just have the whole family, they just leave, they can't afford it anymore. And it's like, yeah, it sounds good on paper, but in practice it's really not. It's like a Band-Aid on a knife wound, you know what I mean?
It's, like, not really fixing anything.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Like there's a lot more. I feel like there's deeper issues within, like, what you're saying, like, how it's kind of a recipe for disaster with how expensive it is to live there versus, like, it's like, who can really afford that? You know, realistically, it's people moving in from the mainland. It's tourists. It's
people with established wealth.
Yeah, it's people. It's investment companies right? It's people from Japan who are buying 2 vacation homes down here, and they only live there 2 months out of the year.
So, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
so
there's
that
stuff
people
like
are only coming here during their winter to get away from the cold.
Yeah,
so then you just got empty lots sitting there, empty houses.
Yeah, you do, and it's crazy because you'll see that. And you literally take a 180 away from the house, and you see 3 homeless people standing there.
I was just gonna ask about
bro.
I was just gonna ask about that.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
And don't even, dude. It's even worse because we have metropolitan areas. Luckily, on Oahu, like we have crazy new urbanized skyscrapers, right? Like really beautiful places that people should be able to live in, but all these condos are already bought out, and like they'll just sit there. They'll rent them out every now and then, or like maybe a few people live there. But like, say in a building, there's like 100 different units. Maybe only 20% of that is actually being used, and the rest no one else can afford, and they just let it sit there.
It's crazy. I have some facts. You're from would you say urban Honolulu?
Yeah.
Okay.
So. Definitely.
In urban Honolulu, and they didn't really specify, but there's 55,040 jobs in the food preparation and service category. This was from, I believe, the U.S. Labor and Statistics Organization.
Yeah.
That is 12.4% of all Honolulu employment.
Yeah.
And then the national average is 8.8, and for this category, the average wage, but mind you, this average is counting chefs. It's counting waiters that are historically an underpaid service. Yeah. Is $20.89. The national average is $17.32. That's 20.6% higher. So 4% more people are being forced into this again, and then we revert back to that 86% higher cost of living. And then in one of the biggest categories, because like when I was looking, a lot of it, like you said, is businesses and stuff coming in, like tourists like to go to the nice restaurants. 20.6% higher. It is up. That's a 60% disparity. That is insanity to me. 12% of people.
12% of people what?
In Honolulu have to work in these places.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're only making 20% more. That's still 60%. That's 1 in every 10 people are absorbing that 60%. And like you said, then what do? You get in and with your parents and your mom, you live with them and you all split the bill.
Yep.
Okay, so now that's awesome. Now you're all still getting beat up 15%.
Yeah.
We did it, guys. We really nailed it down. It's crazy.
No, yeah.
Those are wild numbers.
Yeah, it's definitely like that stat. I feel like is definitely just influenced by our main economic resources is tourism, and I can't lie, I don't ever see that changing anytime soon. Like we rely on it and I think that's a key word. We like rely on it. Like we don't need to. We could make different avenues for us to make revenue, but like we just don't. We and even within tourism, like I feel like there could be so much more to be done that would actually be able to like if we do have to make that like our bread and butter, like that should like the people who live there should be seeing some of that profit.
I agree.
It shouldn't all just go back to the hotels.
That's exploitation.
That's
exploitation, and it's wrong.
And you go back to like, well, how did all that start? And it all started when we got overthrown and annexed in like the 1880s, and like from there, like rich businessmen from America kind of just took over and like pretty much just screwed everyone else who was living there. It's just like, and like you're saying with like the disparity between how much people are making and like how they bridge that gap with how expensive it is.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like a lot of people are working like multiple jobs. They're on welfare, they're on food stamps, they're like they have to be dual income of some sort. And it's crazy too. What really saddens me about that whole situation is like people, especially locals, like They do not like people who take government handouts. They feel like it's money out of their pockets. It's very interesting, the political side of local people. Like, I won't say all, but like a good chunk of them are definitely right leaning and
Natives or people coming in, you notice?
natives. And I think a big part of that is just because we've been a blue state for so long that like they haven't seen the change that they want, so they kind of just blame the Democratic
It's like,
leaders.
if this system isn't working, we
Yeah,
might as well try the other path.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't want to label myself because I want to do more research on all of my stances to see what I align with. But I'm 100%, I would say, very left on the spectrum, and like I'm reading here, counter workers. Like, I think that probably are not bartenders, but overall counter workers. Like, I'm assuming that means like people who work at the front when you go into like an Olive Garden.
Yeah,
like they
a
still get
host.
paid. Yeah, the hostesses, they still get paid the same amount as in other places, and that average is $16.01. I can't imagine living in Hawaii off $16 an hour.
Yeah,
even
terrible.
with tips. Let's say you make a ton of tips, like 16.01. Like, I don't see how that's feasible. You know what I'm saying?
And that really just goes back to like, yeah, people just end up living with their parents. Like, that's honestly, like, I feel like the biggest fallback people have, or they go to like public housing, or they just move out. They just can't afford it anymore, and they don't want to have to scrape by every single week, living off of pennies and dimes. Like, it's just not a way to live. And people, like, luckily people are resilient. You know, people find ways around it. People pick up a second job. People pick up a side hustle, stuff like that. But I mean, it is a really big issue. And if I'm being honest, there's just like not a lot of ways around it. Like, people. Oh, you know, it's another, like, I seen what I see a lot is that people who are born and raised there like end up going into blue collar work.
It pays well, but it's very taxing on your body. It's so taxing.
It is taxing,
and you shouldn't be I'm a huge, like, a lot of people like to call me a communist, and they like to call me all these different things. The bottom line is, in a country that's supposed to be as powerful as America, I think that obviously some jobs are going to pay less than others. That's just a fact.
Of course.
But you should not have to break your body to eat. It's insane to me. And you should, and because there are plenty of people who enjoy that work and it's their passion, and I love that. But if it's not what you want to do, I think it's wrong when we're in a position, like we said, where we're exploiting this native group of people in an annexed land, and now they have to go do work that when they're not, I'm not even going to say 80, when they're 50, when they're 45, they want to go watch their kid's baseball game, they want to go watch their kid's soccer game, and they can't even sit in the bleachers for 10 minutes because their bodies are broken from working 3 jobs and doing construction overtime. That just doesn't sit right with me.
No, it doesn't sit right with me either. And it's like, and then you just get into the drug pipeline with that, right? Like, I've personally seen, like, people in my family, like, they go into the trades, and like, not all of them, but like a good handful, like, end up picking up drugs, and like, it's just a slippery, dark slope, man. Like, and that's how, I wouldn't say that's how you get. I don't know the exact statistics on it, but I know that's how a lot of people also end up being homeless. But like, it's because there's no other way to cope with that daily stress that, oh my gosh, like, what am I gonna do next week? I can't. My kid needs new shoes for his game. He really wants these new. I can't afford it. How am I gonna pay that? Oh, my car just broke down. How am I even gonna afford that? I don't have the extra.
Work?
Yeah, I don't have the
to
extra.
Make that money.
I don't have the extra $500 sitting around, and I think I would love to see that statistic, like how much savings people really have, especially down there, especially in the islands, because I can guarantee you it's not
minuscule.
High. Yeah, I'm sure it's not high.
I think this is something that you'll find interesting. I looked up the largest industries in Hawaii because I was wondering what kind of businesses are coming and doing this? And I only took 3 from the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
The number 1 I thought was kind of interesting: computer manufacturing.
Oh wow.
Number 3 and number 10 I think make the most sense to me. For number 1 though, it was 14.1 billion. Again, not seeing natives aren't seeing any of that.
Yeah, don't know anyone who's in that field.
Number 3 was hotels and motels with 9.8 billion, and
Mm-hmm.
number 10 was domestic airlines with 4.5. So that's roughly 10 and 4.5. We're looking at around 14, 15 billion for number 3 and number 10. That's excluding number 2 and then 4 through 9. That's 1, 3, and 10.
Yeah.
And that's already what? And I mean, if we add 1 to that, we're looking at 28 billion a year.
Yeah.
That is utter insanity. And then if we add in the homeless epidemic stats, which is it's very similar to Vermont. Vermont is only 2 to 3 places behind Hawaii for per capita homelessness. In Hawaii, it's 0.8. 0.8% of people are homeless. So let's say it's not 1 in every 100. 1 in every 203 people. It's a little over. I'm bad at mental math. And then since 2019, it's gone up 0.365%, which is a little under half of that. So it's gone up exponentially in the last 5 to 6 years. It is just utter insanity.
I would say, definitely during COVID time when you had a lot of, like, I saw, like, a lot of layoffs happening, like, companies shutting down. Like, I mean, I walked around neighborhoods and I would see, like, oh, my favorite restaurant, my favorite corner store, oh, they're done. They can't afford it anymore.
Still not reopened? You mean done permanently?
They're done. Like, just look, we have Chinatown, which is kind of near where I live, maybe like 3, 4, 5 miles out. But dude, they never bounced back. It used to be a thriving neighborhood full of a bunch of Chinese immigrants, and they had bomb food. I used to always visit there, and like you go there now, and it's just like a shell of what it used to be, and like. When you talk about the homeless, how bad it's gotten, like I feel like those stats don't even do it justice.
You think if they were recounted, it would be higher now?
Oh, I feel like it'd be so bad.
You think it'd be over? Do you think it'd be over 1%?
Yeah, easily.
Well,
I think
if you had to guesstimate, where do you think it'd roughly be? Just in your area. Where are you from specifically?
I am from Kaka'ako. Oahu, so
I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that.
Yeah, it's
What do you think it would be there?
Kaka'ako, oh, it's gotta be high.
You think it'd be?
I would say like I want to say one in 10,000, something like that.
You think so?
I don't really know how to put it into perspective. It's hard for me to say, but like. Say if I'm walking down the street, right?
Yeah. Like
in my neighborhood, right? I might see 3 families, maybe 4, and then I'll see a homeless person. So it's like for what I've experienced, like that's kind of the reality of what it is. But I don't know like exactly how that translates into the real like the factual statistics. Yeah. But like, dude, if you go and you drive around. Like, especially if you go, like, east or west, where it's a little more rural. Dude, lines of tents across the beach. Lines.
Kind of like Skid
Row.
Huh?
Kind of like Skid Row. And, like, dude, there's literally, like, on the west side near Waianae High School, which is, like, more, like deep west.
Yeah.
It's deep in there. There's literally, like, a whole homeless, like, town, pretty much. Like a homeless village. Right, because these people like are just trying to they're just trying to live, like they're just trying to do their own thing. Obviously, there's definitely hella drugs in there, probably a bunch of sexual abuse, probably a lot of really dirty shit going on, but there's what's being done about it.
Well, again, and I just want to follow up, like I'm not gonna sit here and defend people who commit sexual assault and things like that.
Oh yeah,
but you're always going. There's a term I love. And evil breeds evil. Hate breeds hate. Love breeds love. Things tend to replicate themselves.
Yeah.
And I think when you, I don't want to say, when you violate a people on an economic and social level, you're going to breed violation.
Yeah.
And I don't, and then that kind of leads, I notice, into like things like racism, because then people look at stats and it's like, oh, well, if you look, these homeless people aren't doing themselves any favors.
Yeah.
Go look at the stats. If they didn't want to be homeless, they wouldn't be killing and raping each other. Black people wouldn't be out here shooting each other in gangs.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but again, I'm not defending it. I'm not agreeing with any of it. But if we're going to take that stance and we're going to look at homeless people in Hawaii that way, we're going to I'm going to go back to 120 years.
Yeah.
We're going to go back to when it was annexed. We're going to go back. Was this a thing beforehand? Mm-hmm. Go into the neighborhoods. Is this a thing? Mm-hmm. And then what's the difference between this guy and that guy? This guy over here was molested 4 times when he was a kid because men used to just walk into his tent when his mom was out trying to find food and mm-hmm. would play with him. And it's like, you know, I think it's a disgusting thing. And I think that people really gotta start to have more of a sense of humanity, man, and think of these things from that way.
Yeah, dude, it's like when you try to talk about like giving homeless people a better opportunity in Hawaii, you really just see a lack of empathy, honestly. Mm-hmm. At least from like the converse. Not to say like every person isn't empathetic to them in some capacity.
There's always good people.
Yeah. But you know, you definitely just hear like a big one is just drug use. Like from my own perspective, I think drugs are a disease. I think when someone's an addict, I think they're literally suffering from a disease. Like, obviously, if you have, you know, the best community around you, you know, you have a loving family who's gonna constantly be there for you, who's always gonna have your back and try to get things better, like that helps, you know, and like that'll probably like lead someone to like have a better chance of recovery and all that. But like I think it's just cruel when people are so quick to not even judge, but like almost justify that person's situation, like they're doing it to themselves,
like they deserve it.
Yeah, they deserve it. You're a drug addict. You deserve to be in that situation. And I'm just like bro, that was like someone's son at what point in time. You don't know what kind of background that guy had. You don't know what kind of, that lady could have been raped multiple times. She could have had, just like my own mom. Like, I think about my own parents. Both my parents came from broken homes. My dad's parents died when he was still in elementary, and his sister raised him. He could have ended up like any one of those guys.
Absolutely.
If he didn't, like, he almost did, honestly. Like, he was in juvie, in and out, in middle school, and even he didn't graduate with his GED. But like, luckily he got into the trades. He met my mom, like, and they had us, and that kind of just fucking mended them together. And it's just like I just wish people would have more empathy for those people. I wish there was just more willingness to be like, hey, they're not just an eyesore. Like, they're
soul. They have a soul.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. They're people, and honestly, as someone in our own shoes, like, we low-key have a responsibility,
an obligation.
To help them.
I agree.
To help them, not just complain that they exist, to actually do something to give these people the help that they really need.
Because then my thing, and I want to say, my father's very similar. My father, his family immigrated from, I don't know if they immigrated from Trinidad after he was born, or right before. But he was young. He was either young or in my grandma when they came over, and he had legal issues. He grew up in tough Brooklyn, inner Brooklyn, legal troubles.
Was that like 70s, 80s?
Yeah, about that time. Yeah, right when shit was real bad. He was around for the war on drugs when Reagan, they were just arresting black people. He was around for all that, the crack epidemic, the AIDS epidemic. He saw all that. And I asked people, I'm like, okay, what is your alternative then? Just kill all the gay people, kill all the minorities, kill all the homeless? Like, just get rid of them?
Yeah.
What do we do? What do we do? Like you, they just put them on the beach and forget they exist.
Yeah.
Just don't look at the beach.
Move them sidewalk to sidewalk. Keep taking them out for them to go somewhere else. Like it's just not the solution I think we need, and it's sad that like people are mad dismissive about it. Like they're just okay with it.
Complacency.
Yeah, exactly. It is complacency. They're like, well, yeah, out of sight, out of mind.
Better you than
as
me.
long as as long as they're not in front of the restaurant I'm trying to go to, I don't care, right? Like
And that's the thing that bugs me about that philosophy, and I try to stay on topic and not get too political, but it really bugs me because we talk like this is inevitable. And again, I do think to an extent it's going to be inevitable. You're always going to have people who make bad decisions. You're always going to have people who end up... You're never going to get rid of it. But to sit here and say that, it almost growing by a little under 50% since COVID, that is not inevitable.
No.
In any capacity. Almost 50% in 5 years for a state that's been around since, like, what was it, the late 50s, early 60s, something like that? Since it was made an official state.
Like, down in 1942.
42. Okay, yeah. So we're looking at 80 years, and it spikes almost half in 5. But it's inevitable.
Yeah.
But there's nothing we can do. Well, first off, I think, and I don't, again, I know people tell me I sound like a communist. There needs to be government, economic, and social intervention.
Yeah.
There has to be. If you, fine Intel, fine Dell, you want to set up your multi-billion-dollar plant in the middle of this beautiful island and pollute the shit out of it, you have a legal right to do that. But I think we have a moral and social obligation to give 1 or 2% back. I think that we need to have more, like billionaires, right? You should have to, instead of upping their taxes, let's make it where they have to donate to social institutions.
Yeah.
You have to go pick a certain charity you're going to donate 10 to 15 million to. And people hear 10, 15 million. You're going to take 10 to 15 million of his money, of his net worth? These people are worth billions and billions. Yeah. They take 30% of our paycheck. Yeah. And we're struggling college kids. I never got an apology when I get taxed.
Yeah. Literally.
Like, I absolutely do think we should be taking millions and millions. When those millions and millions could save human lives, it's no longer a talking point. Like you said, it's a duty. It's an obligation.
It is an obligation. And, dude, this is definitely a little political, but, bro, like, those people's wealth wouldn't exist without the
exploitation.
Yeah, the labor exploitation of other groups of people to a certain extent, bro. You you take Walmart, right? Walmart wouldn't function without its employees, right?
Yeah.
But Walmart literally tells its employees how to sign up for government benefits because they know that they aren't gonna pay them enough to live. They literally show them how to sign up for SNAPs, how to sign up for affordable housing, how to do all these things because they know that they're not going to pay them enough to be able to live. And it's just funny, like, people are always like, oh, like, how are you going to take their money? How are you going to... They steal from us daily. What do you mean you're telling your people you're a multi-billion-dollar company and you're telling your employees to sign up for government aid that we're funding? Dude. You're not funding that. The people are. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like,
yeah, that's a good point. And I didn't think of that.
Yeah, and it feels like even if you get an inch, even like it's so hard to even get that. Like, dude. Like with hotels. Like I was just talking to you this about the other day. They added a tourism tax for hotels.
You told me that, yeah.
Yeah, and like when you hear it, like it sounds good because it's like a I want to say like 2 to 5% tax on hotels, like when you're staying at a hotel, and that would be funded. That would go to state like whatever, like state run programs.
Okay.
Or part of their revenue or whatever.
Social programs?
Yeah, I don't even know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know
the specifics.
Yeah, I don't even know. But like, Like you
I'd
think
hope
like
it.
yeah, you think like oh like okay yeah like let's charge the tourists, but then it's like oh by the way it doesn't even matter if you're from the state, you still gotta pay it too.
Natives. Oh, you told me.
Yeah, like even if you like even you want to do a staycation, all right, you gotta pay the tax too, and it's just like it doesn't feel like it feels like every like inch you get is just like another like
one step forward, two steps back.
yeah, exactly. It's like we'll give you that, but you know, like you got to pay that too. Like
No, that's wicked.
and it's just like
Defeats the purpose.
yeah, it does defeat the
now
purpose.
It's still level.
It defeats the purpose. Like what do you mean we all have to pay it, bro? And like obviously like a big issue is that like we're an American state. Like you can't like you're not really
You're still under certain guidelines and stuff.
yeah
as other states.
yeah exactly
Federal
bro.
laws, things like that.
Yeah, like people in Hawaii like think like a lot of people like think of Hawaii as its own like plate, like its own like it's separate from
Because it's so culturally different.
yeah, it's so culturally different, and like our way of life like on a day to day is a lot different, and but like when you talk about like something like a tourism tax, people in the mainland are gonna be like, "What do you mean I have to pay extra to go down to a different state?" Like, it's just like it's so ignorant. I feel like because it's not like you're living with you're not gonna be the one living with the real
Consequences.
yeah the consequences of all that. Like we're the ones stuck here. You're visiting here for a week, but I gotta clean up your trash once you leave. I'm the one who has to look at my coral reefs dying because you like no one wants to take care of anything because everyone's too broke to really care about another person. Everyone's just thinking about themselves and how am I gonna get to next week.
Well, it's not their problem in their minds once they leave.
Yeah, it's not.
Once they leave, it's we went to Hawaii. We have the picture
oh my
on
gosh,
our fridge.
Yeah, look at my post on Instagram.
The postcard,
my gosh,
the whole shebang. And
I went to an authentic luau at Waikiki. that's how they sound.
It's crazy. It's like, you know what I mean? I feel you completely, and I think it's absurd. Like, and it's so normalized. People don't see the issue there.
No,
they don't see and then like you said earlier, you guys kind of like at least in this moment you rely on it. So people justify those actions. Well, where would they get that money if I didn't bring my kids down for the weekend?
Yeah.
Where would they get that money? And it's like, I don't know. Maybe if we started taking out some of those big ass like manufacturing plants for computers and we put more native crops, maybe we could start exporting. Like most other, like Argentina, like Colombia, like a lot of other tropical landscapes.
Yeah, like what do you think Hawaii did before tourism was along, bro?
Just no one had any money.
Yeah.
There was just no economy.
Dude, we're literally one of the best trading outposts in the world. We're in the middle of the Pacific. We literally, like, we're in the middle of we're in the middle of China, Japan, Russia, and the United States, man. Like, we had one of the biggest exports was, like, sandalwood. Like, it was like it was used for, like the leaves were, like, medicinal, and, like, the bark was used for, like, incense and stuff, and, like, fragrance. And, like, or, like, we had, I don't even want to get into plantations, because that kind of sucked dick. Like, when that got introduced, but like
I mean, it's a real part of history.
Yeah, like it wasn't even it wasn't like the whole thing with like there was sugarcane and pineapple plantations, right? Like Dole Cannery.
I've heard that. I
Dole
don't
Cannery,
know the context,
yeah,
but
Dole
I've heard of
Cannery
that.
started in Hawaii. They exported pineapples from the islands, and they made a fortune. They made a fortune on it. I mean, you see Dole stickers on probably half the produce in a supermarket now, maybe like a quarter of it.
You're right. No, you're right.
Yeah,
That's-
you see Dole Cannery everywhere, and people see people hear it's like people don't even know about that. People just think like they see the current state of Hawaii, and they're like, oh well, like that's how it's gonna be.
Like that's how it is.
It's inevitable.
Yeah, it's inevitable. Like that's just well, if they wanted to do something, man, they should have switched. And it's just like, well, like probably could if like half of our water isn't being diverted into these hotels for them to use for bullshit, like fucking having 5 different pools next to the ocean. Like,
yeah,
come on, bro. Why like
indoor pools?
Yes. Why are we building
hot tubs?
Oh my gosh! Like we just built this, wave pool. Not like it's not like a. It's like where you can surf on it type of wave pool.
I've seen those, yeah.
Yeah, but it was like a new one they built in 2022, and it diverges something like 5 million gallons of water per day of fresh water. They don't even use the ocean water. It has to be fresh water for some fucking reason. Like we needed this on the island of Oahu, where we literally have some of the best waves in the entire world. It's just like stuff like that.
It's because I don't think they care. I don't think people genuinely care about the experience. They care about, like we said, the idea. They care about the vanity of it. They care about
the vanity.
They don't care about Hawaii. It's the same with, I notice, African American culture. Like I know so many white guys who love to say the word nigga. They love to listen to rap music and do the Hawaiian thing and sell that subculture. And then they go home to their 2-story house in their nice neighborhood and then get on COD and then they die in Call of Duty. Oh, you big black nigger, I hate you. And then they want to sit there and talk like they're, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they care about, I'm not going to say I don't think, I know they don't. They care they care about the idea of the group. They don't genuinely care about the group.
Yeah,
and I think that's so apparent in Hawaii. It's so apparent in Hawaii.
It is, bro, and it's honestly just like it's sad to see, but like I do think there's like a lot of hope. Personally, like when I look at people in our generation, bro, like I think the biggest like advantage we have is just like our access to information. Like
huge.
When you talk about this stuff to old people or older folk, they just don't know. They don't know the whole picture. They can't. They're usually stuck in the way of like one way of thinking or the other. Like Like when it comes to tourism, like you're just saying, like
they refuse to adapt.
Yeah, they refuse. They just think that's the way it is, and like if you don't like it, like fuck you, and you should probably move out of here too. And I think, like what you're saying, like when we're talking about blue collar work, like that is how a lot of people who stay there, that's how they make a living. I mean, my own father, that's how our family is still able to be there. My dad's a carpenter, like, and people take a lot of pride in that. They're like, this is like what I do. Like this is how our people should be surviving, and I just look at that and I'm like, why should every Hawaiian have to be a plumber, electrician, like waste away their bodies so that they're able to live? Like, shouldn't we want like people to have opportunity? Like, shouldn't we want our our college graduate kids to actually stay
to go into STEM and to not to diss on those, not to diss on blue collar work. I think it's necessary.
No, yeah, of course.
And I know what you meant, but I just say this because when things go to an audience, you have to specify. Not to disrespect blue collar work. I think it's one of the most honorable things you can do. We need more trades. I tell people all the time, if you're not going to college, I highly recommend getting into a trade. It's good pay. It's honorable work. But again, it shouldn't be your only option. Yeah. Wherever you live. Nothing should be. I don't think college should be your only option. I don't think that blue collar work should be your only option. But like you said, you should not have to do a job where you carry a big ass jackhammer all day and your elbows are straight, fucking jelly by 10 in the morning because it's that or your kids don't eat. And then we have people, again, who are worth hundreds. And the thing that bugs me is when you are worth $100 billion, you're living the exact same lifestyle as someone who's worth 50 or 25 billion. Once you hit a certain point, how much bigger can you make a yacht? How much bigger can you make a man? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know,
like,
man. They push it to the limits.
Dude,
they
they do.
push it to the limits.
Like,
I don't know how they do it.
You
All
two
right, my
jacuzzis
super yacht. I want to put a yacht
on
in my yacht,
dude. Actually, I can't have 3 stories.
It's literally like I won't lie, bro. It's low key dystopian. Like, I mean, I understand.
It is dystopian.
I understand. Like, people are allowed to do what they want with their money.
Yeah,
but like, yeah, like you're saying, like, yeah, at a certain point, like, what point are you like? Well, if 70% of like our state's income is being funneled into 5 people, like is that fair in a society? Is that like the type of society we want to live in? Like, and you can't give me the excuse like, well, you could do that too, because that's feasibly not possible. Not everyone could be the CEO. Not everyone can be a blue collar. You have to agree. You have to have like bottom of the barrel workers, bro. It is what it is. Like, for a functioning society, you need a janitor.
Yeah.
You need people like that. And it's bullshit. It's honestly, in my mind, it's bullshit that we say, well, that's low skilled labor. That person deserves to live like that. That person deserves to work 80 hours a week. Like,
with no pay, with $15
no
an
benefits,
hour.
no dental, no insurance.
Wow.
And it's like, and I look
nail after nail on the head, you're hitting them.
Yeah.
Nail after nail on the head, you're hitting it right on the head every time, man.
I mean, like, if you really think that, like, well, why don't these places just like don't exist, bro? But it's because people want them to. Like, obviously, people are spending their money there. People want them to be, and it's just like, why wouldn't you think, if you want that so bad, like, why wouldn't you want them to be able to like live off of it too?
And again, I don't think tourism or people going, like, I don't think businesses putting their plants there is bad. I don't think people touring there is bad.
No, I don't know either.
I think a complete disregard for the natural landscape and the natives is bad.
No.
That's and that just seems to be what's happening time and time again. Like we've been talking about for the last hour. Like, it's not even like, because like you said, or I don't know if we were on air for this. We were talking privately one time, and you told me that there's kind of a social divide between you and all your friends. Like, some of them are like, we don't want tourists. Others are like, we need them. And it's like, again, if you're going to go to Hawaii, that's fine. If you're going to go to Japan, that's fine. If you're going to go to Arkansas, that's fine. You should have a slight understanding of the local culture. You should have a slight understanding of some historical context of the area. Yeah. And you should have a respect. You should have a respect for these people. You should, like, I don't know what the mindset is, but like,
no, people literally come down and treat it like their private playground.
Like, you're somewhat superior. Like you're visiting people who are inferior just to gawk, and it's like, it's disgusting. You should understand that the only difference, and I'm gonna show you something. Actually, they can't see this obviously, but I just acquired these graphs that I really like, and I plan on showing people this. And if you look, this is basically, we have where people diverged from. I'm showing him a graph of the world map of the Y-DNA, and this is basically, they tested men around the world for their X and Y chromosomes, and you can see how humans migrated. Every human in the world, I believe, came, like, these groups, the colors are the ethnic groups. So if you look, these people are in different places, but have the same DNA.
Yeah.
So people were all migrating from the same 1 to 2 places. And then people talk about, race a lot. And if you look, like, the only difference is if you live, like, you guys, I believe, are somewhere right in here.
Nah, bro, we're over here.
You're right there?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm terrible. I failed geography in high school. Like, people in the yellow, if you have not enough melanin, you die. Women's uteruses don't develop enough without certain vitamins, and they can't birth children. the mom and the child dies. And it's the same thing for white people. The reason it's not a problem now is because we live in a society where grocery stores have made that obsolete. You can go get vitamins from the store.
Exactly.
But that's the thing a lot of people don't understand is there's really no difference between any of these places. The only difference is the way the sun, and I might have lost it, but I had a third graph. I'll send it to you sometime. It's a graph of the sun's radiation. Or this is the one with the radiation. But I'll show you the ethnic graph. The ethnic graph is literally this with a different it's with a different legend. With a different legend. It just take away the UV and put race. It's the same graph.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that. And it's like, I just think that if I could, and again, I know I rant a lot, but to specify why that's relevant here, basically, I think if we could nail this into everyone's heads, they would approach these places with a different mindset. They would go to Hawaii with a different mindset. They would go visit, people who visit Africa on, missions and stuff would just have it. And I'm not saying they're all bad or this or that, but I think you need to approach it with an objective scientific mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I think when we can hit that and when we can realize, like, every human has 99.9% of the same DNA. This is a fact. The difference between me, you, and Griffin cooking his chicken over there is 0.01. The difference between all three of us. And we all look vastly different. I know they can't smell it, but that smells really good. But, there's no difference. And I think people need to realize that. There's no difference between a Hawaiian and a New Yorker or like a Vermonter and a Bosnian or an American and a Canadian. Like, we are all the same. And like we said earlier, I think that Hawaii would get rid of a lot of these issues if people just got that through their head. If people understood there's no difference. If I see a man being jumped because he's a Hawaiian, I'm not thinking, oh, I'm Caribbean, I'm not going to help him. If I see a European man getting beat up by people, if I see two gay men getting beat up and the attackers don't have weapons, I'm going to call the cops. I'm probably going to stop it. I'm probably going to go attempt to stop it.
Yeah.
If I see a group of homosexual men attacking a straight man, I'm not thinking, oh, I have to go help him because I'm also a heterosexual man.
Yeah.
It's because it's the wrong fucking thing to do. It's bad.
Yeah.
So, I think Hawaii could really get rid of some of these issues if these people just comprehended these things on a deeper level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, yeah, I think a lot of it is just, like, willful ignorance, bro. Like,
100%.
Like, it's just easier to live in a reality where I can justify exploiting a group of people, and...
It's scary to question what you've been taught your whole life.
Yeah, it is.
Especially for someone, like you said, especially for an ignorant person.
Yeah.
It's scary. The world is scary.
Yeah, it is.
And it's... And I mean, I don't want to get too into it. I would love to have you back sometime and we could get into it. But, like, things like religion, things like ethnic identity, things like racial identity, like, it's a lot more comfortable to distance yourself from a lot of things. Then this big, scary world has answers.
Yeah.
Then we have a God.
Yeah.
Then we have we don't need to think about how we treated the black people. They're black. We don't need to think about how we annexed those Hawaiians. Have you seen them? Those little weirdos down there dancing in their skirts. We don't have to think those pineapple people.
Like Charlie Kirk, literally one of Charlie Kirk's quotes, bro. Like, they believe in fucking they pray to water, bro. They pray to water.
He said that?
Bro. Yeah,
of course he said that.
Like just a severe misinterpretation of Hawaii, Native Hawaiian religion and culture, dude,
It's disgusting.
They weren't literally praying to the divine, oh my gosh, water, please bless
water
me.
Save us,
water save us, bro. It's the deep respect for the water
in the land.
Yeah, in the land that was literally the source of life, bro. And that's just what it comes from, bro. It was just deep respect and understanding, bro. And just to see that stuff being twisted and used to justify
oppression.
literally oppression,
dude.
stuff like that.
I'll
gross,
openly say I'm not a Charlie Kirk guy. And I'm actually hoping in a future episode to get some people on. I'm going to try to go find some conservatives because, like I said, it's Dominici's discussions and debates. I want to get the debates going. I want to get the debates going, and I want to get some Charlie Kirk fans on, and I want to level with them. Because a lot of the things he said, like you said, man, they don't see it that... Like, that's unacceptable.
Yeah, that is
to present. Because then, like...
And to think that people nowadays are, like, practicing it in that way. Like, bro, no one's practicing it like that, bro. People have respect for a lot of indigenous cultures because they understood that we're nothing without the land that we stand on.
You need water to live.
You need water to live. You need to protect in Hawaii, it's called Aina. The Aina you stand upon. Mother Nature, you need to protect it, and like, I mean, that's like a whole nother thing. But like, dude, like just that simple anecdote from Native Hawaiian religion, it could easily be applied in today's world. Like, we have become so vastly disconnected from Mother Nature, where our food comes from, like all that kind of stuff.
100%.
Yeah,
we have put ourselves in. I mean, I don't know if you've ever taken a sociology class. We call it the box. People are in the box. Religion is a box. And that's not to say, when I say box, that doesn't mean it's constricting.
Yeah.
It doesn't constrict you. It's not to say that you can't think of things on a broad scale. But even if you think of things to a broad scale, you have a filter over it. You have goggles on.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not you'll admit it, religion puts goggles on. Ethnicity puts goggles on. When I look at you and I say, you are slightly different color of brown than my brown, that's goggles. Yeah. That's another layer of goggles I'm putting on. When I look at you and I say, oh, your hair is a different texture than mine because it is a few off, that's another layer of goggles. And we just stack the boxes. And we stack the boxes. Mm-hmm. And then, like you said, we wonder, why people like Charlie Kirk end up saying things like they pray to water, they're dirty, they're primitive, and it's like, I wonder how many boxes that guy had in his life. That guy had so many boxes he was probably covered. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy. But, like, I don't know. I like still, for like a lot of the stuff when it comes to Hawaii, like I still try to like find hope, like find like what is there good to think about when it comes.
Yeah, not to say Hawaii's doomed or anything.
Yeah,
I think there's faith. It's such a beautiful land.
Like, dude, bro, we could fill probably an 8-hour podcast with how many problems there are in Hawaii, bro. They're like even like we were saying when it comes to like racial divide, like religious takes, like
all those things play into it.
1,000%. They do. And
I don't think those are unrelated at all, especially to Hawaii, because like you said earlier, it's so different than continental U.S.
It is, and
there's Americans, Hawaiians, and Alaskans.
Yeah, there is a lot of differences, but like that's something I didn't really talk about, but like. Dude, there's so many different races in Hawaii, and I think that's literally integral to the state. I don't think we'd have as great of a culture or like state identity if it wasn't for how diverse we are. I think it's one of our strengths. I think it's one of America's strengths.
100%.
And I think when people try to look at these differences as a reason not to like another person, I think that's where we just have so many issues. I think we have so many issues.
I agree. I think it's 100.
Yeah,
100% necessary. And mind you, I just want to put this out there. I'll keep the episode going, but if you hit a point where you want to wrap it up, you tell me, and I'll do the outro. Because we're hitting. I usually do about an hour, but I'm loving the conversation. I'll keep going another few minutes, but I agree. I think diversity is a necessity, and I think that and the thing that people get mixed up is they will see a group of people committing a crime, and then generalizations come, and then ignorance comes.
It doesn't even have to be a crime, bro. It could be like any type of action, and then all of a sudden everyone in that group is kind of a part of that label that you have in your head.
But what people forget is, like with Hawaii, like, what color were the people going in and annexing and killing natives?
Yeah.
they were Caucasian.
Yeah.
So if you got up on a mic and you said, look at these silly Anglo-Saxons, look at these silly Slavics, look at these silly white people praying, look at these Americans praying to Jesus Christ. The things that would be said about you, it's insanity. Look at these silly people. They pray to God. They pray to a Middle Eastern man who went around in a dress saying he was God.
Yeah.
Like, and that even then, I imagine I'm probably gonna hear about that comment. I'm probably gonna hear some things about that comment when I post this.
But it's true though. It's true, bro. People are very quick to, just shit on marginalized communities.
I agree.
They're an easy target, honestly, especially when you hold the majority. You can talk all day about generalizations when it comes to African American people. They're more prone to violence. Oh my God, they're more prone to shoot. Yeah, they're gonna steal something, and it's just like, well, what about all the white people who stole land for hundreds of years,
and then use those land to enslave black people, to open the plantations in Hawaii,
to build
and take
up their
all
giant corporations that we see today. What is that? Can we not say
that's
this?
exempt? That's exempt. It's different.
It was hard work.
It was hard work. It's capitalism.
It was hard work.
That's a conversation for another capitalism conversation. But no, I fully agree, and I think that all plays back into what you said. It's easier to have a scapegoat. It's easier to point your finger at someone else than it is. I don't know if you ever listened to the band Tool. They have a song, Eulogy, I think you should listen to after. It's called Eulogy. I mean, I don't know if you'll like the song, but the song is about this exact thing.
I have
Eulogy.
heard of Tool, but I haven't listened to it.
No, oh my God, dude! I've listened to an unhealthy. Yeah, shout out. They don't know me. Shout out Tool. Shout out Tool.
Shout out to Tool.
I absolutely love the band Tool. I love the band Primus. I love Coheed and Cambria. Now that I'm just putting on my favorite bands, but no, they have a lot of their songs are about that kind of thing, and I mean, you have two options. You can point at the first person you see that doesn't look or think like you.
Yep.
Or you can critically think about why these problems exist.
Yeah.
And one of those is easy, and the other one is difficult.
Yeah, it is. It is. And man, you see it a lot. You see it a lot in the islands. People are very quick. I mean, even when it comes to tourists, you can't put all the blame of Hawaii's problems on
tourists.
Fuck the tourists. Fuck these guys coming down here with their kids and fucking everything up. Dude, you really gotta take a look at yourself and be like, okay, well, what am I doing to even do anything differently? What am I doing to am I showing up to protest? Am I trying to be an activist to try to get real change? Or am I just gonna complain and yell at random people about how they're fucking my life up?
That's a good point. That's a good point, dude. Yeah. Wow. That's a very profound point. Seriously, because a lot of people, in my father's community, my mother, who's Caucasian, had more issues when we went down to my dad's than my dad had in rural New York.
Yeah.
My mom came to, I don't know if it was Thanksgiving or what, I was very young. I just get told the story because I was that young. And it was someone was like, wow, Chris, you're really going to bring this white woman here like that? And they were trying to ask my mother to leave. So I think sometimes we get so defensive that we circle back.
We become the thing we hate.
Like I said earlier, hate breeds hate. Love breeds love.
Exactly.
Anything breeds itself.
Exactly.
Anything breeds itself. So again, we'll wrap it up soon here. In total or summary, it's not don't go to Hawaii. It's if you're gonna go, have a respect for the land.
Yeah.
Pick up the trash. Don't make any stupid jokes. Don't go and trivialize their exam. I'm not saying don't send a postcard to your family. Do send the postcard. Do go have the fun. But when you're thinking about these things, maybe do some research. Maybe don't go to the hotel with the big ass fucking 500 million gallon pool of fresh water.
Yeah.
Maybe don't give those places your service.
Yeah.
If you see a Hawaiian who's, giving you your meal at a restaurant and they look like they're struggling, maybe give a tip. Maybe give a bigger tip than you were thinking about giving, And like I said, if we do those things, slowly and steadily, consciousness will rise, which will then hit politicians, because it all funnels up from us, from the common people, and then
it does.
So, it's definitely not hopeless. I think with these things, it could be on a good trajectory. And this has been D3, Dominici's Discussions and Debates, with probably my favorite episode to date.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much, Justice.
I really enjoyed this
and
conversation.
thank you guys so much for tuning in, and hopefully I'll see you all soon.